conflict has been raging in the Central African Republic since 2013. Up to 6,000 people have been killed. About half the population, some 2.5 million people, are in need of humanitarian assistance. There are close to 700,000 internally displaced people. Another 500,000 have fled to neighboring countries. The village of Boda lies west of the capital Bangui, in what's considered a post-conflict area. It's a stark contrast with the situation in the rest of the country. Today, armed groups control almost all central and southern provinces. Political instability and religious and inter-ethnic tensions have risen over the last year. Boda still carries scars from years of violence, but Christians and Muslims are slowly learning to coexist. The local hospital treats patients from all religions. This is the 102nd baby born here since the beginning of the year. Births like this can't be taken for granted when nearly half of all health structures have been damaged or destroyed by the conflict. The Central African Republic ranks second in the world for maternal and infant mortality. The EU-funded NGO Alima runs Boda's maternity hospital around the clock, and also a network of remote health centres.
The main difficulty we face is the limited number of qualified doctors. Here, only one doctor was provided by the Ministry of Health for a population of 116,000 people. Alima provides 2 additional doctors to back up the one in charge.
Last year, 1,000 babies were born with the help of the NGO. Alima also carried out more than 100 C-sections. Complex births without medical care often lead to death.
This patient came from far away. She was 5 kilometers away from the nearest health centre. She was then transported to Boda by motorbike, and she had a caesarean an hour later. It wasn't easy, but luckily we've managed to save the baby, and the mother is also doing very well.
Irene is Christian. She's recuperating with her baby next to a Muslim mother, Bintu. This wouldn't have been possible just a few years ago.
I've been well taken care of. I was checked over before the birth and given treatment.
Irene's aunt says conditions were very different when she gave birth, before the NGO started supporting maternity care.
Before, there weren't beds like these. They didn't give us soap or mosquito nets. Now medicine is also free.
The new mothers don't stay in hospital long. Bintu lives in what used to be a closed Muslim enclave. Today, Muslim and Christian communities can move around freely.
Before, Muslims killed Christians and Christians killed Muslims, and there was no food. Now there is cohesion, but poverty still dominates.
Despite the challenges still facing areas like Boda, regions directly affected by the conflict have little or no access to healthcare. That's now a priority for the EU Humanitarian Aid Office.
There are huge difficulties for humanitarian aid workers to position themselves. There are 2 main problems. One is logistical, as the roads are unusable and most locations can only be reached by plane. The other is a matter of security, as we need to negotiate, to mediate with armed groups in order to get access to displaced people living in camps. Over there is an urgent need for healthcare, food, water, shelter and protection.
The conflict shows no sign of letting up, and helping women like Irene is no easy task. Only Syria is more dangerous for humanitarian workers.